On today's episode of Open Box Policy, we talk about the impending beard battle loss. It's a beard battle loss.
Loser.
Yeah, that I lost. Tonight is the night we're going to end up shaving my beard after the podcast. We're going to post it on socials.
Correct, because tell them how I won. I grew
Devin
the
won.
world's most perfect beard.
I know, and it is big, and it is well.
No, it's
not,
none
it's
of those
good.
things.
It's good.
If
And
you
Anyway.
are a fan of Abe Lincoln, then you're a fan of me.
Yeah, well, and you'll hear more about it in the podcast. Devin grew a beard. Congratulations. I have to shave my beard. Yeah, I'm never going to bet Devin on anything again. We move into, I just got back from Colorado. It was a bit of an interesting trip. I wrote down ruined trip. Jamie wrote down uninvited guests. So that's going to be the lead in for the second topic. It's going to be uninvited guests and how we dealt with that. And then we're going to talk about a situation that I ran into when someone should have just shut up. They should have just stopped talking, and then I posed the question to...
So that's basically me.
Yeah.
And that's how I am.
Yeah, when Jamie should just shut up. Yeah. Devin tells a good story about when he should have shut up. Jamie tells us that apparently she never can shut up. And then I tell a good story about when I should have shut up.
Yeah.
And we also want to hear your story of when you probably shouldn't have said what you just said and when you probably should have kept your mouth shut. Hit us up on our socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at OBP_raw.
And send us an email. You know, it's been taking us a while to get through all of the hundreds of emails we get every single week, but we will get to yours. But send one to us.
Eventually.
At obppodcast@gmail.com.
You okay, Jamie?
I got a nut stuck in my throat. I'm trying to eat
nice.
this nut and fruit. No, not nice.
I hate when that happens.
You get a nut
All
stuck
the
in your
nuts
throat.
in my throat.
Yeah.
I was when Jamie said
those
that, I was gonna be
fucking
like,
nuts
that's
in my throat.
definitely not the first time you've ever said that. Like,
No.
no, I don't want to talk about it.
Just go straight to my stomach.
I can see you're disgusting. I can see your mind. Her mind. As soon as I said that, it was like,
I did. I looked at you and I was like,
yeah, she's thinking about all the gruesome shit
all
she
the
can
gross
say to
shit
me.
I could say.
Yeah.
No, it's just, I mean, I'm sure that's not the first time you've eaten nuts, Jamie, and it's probably not the first time you've gotten them, like, pieces
Salty.
lodged in your throat.
That's what, yeah.
They're also usually super salty.
Yeah. Salty nuts.
Salty nuts.
So are we going to talk about it now or at the end of the podcast?
Nuts?
No, not nuts, Jamie.
Damn
that
it.
I lost.
You fucking lost.
I lost again.
Let's just get out. Yeah.
I lost the weight loss battle.
What was the punishment for that?
We never did it.
You guys didn't do it.
We never did a punishment because we kept trying to think of what it was, and then we just moved on and we got past it.
And then
the
Josh
punishment,
quit.
Josh quit. Yeah, the punishment was going to be, I was going to have to go to an open mic night.
That's what it was. I remember.
And do jokes.
And
Yeah.
they tell jokes and they tell stories and stuff,
Oh,
and
thank
hopefully
Slam poetry. That would have been good.
slam poetry. Yeah, my mom
we can
doesn't
always-
love me. Yeah.
We could always bring that back up, dude.
Yeah.
We should do that.
My family is fucked. Like, no, I don't want to do that.
I'm depressed.
Well, so far Adam is not on a good streak. So if we do another competition,
I'm going to lose statistically. Well, I don't know. I guess statistically, I would need to win at some point. So maybe the next one I will
depending
win.
on what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I
Anyway,
lost.
He lost.
If you haven't been keeping up with this, this is for our listeners. If you haven't been keeping up with this, Devin and I had a conversation about 2 months ago where
I was in the conversation as well.
Well, yes, sorry.
But I don't have,
and Jamie
I
had
don't
a
have
conversation
facial hair,
as well,
unfortunately.
where I basically bet Devin, or I told Devin I didn't think that he could grow a beard, not because I didn't think that the hair would actually grow. I basically said, I don't think you'll be able to keep up with it because it's going to come in, it's going to be dirty and shitty, and you'll hate it, and your girlfriend will hate it, and everyone's going to hate it.
Man.
And everyone's going to start to hate you.
Yes, and
you're gonna
everyone's
get
going to generally
depressed.
hate you.
And look
So
at his little baby face now.
Look at
It's
my
a
beaut.
man's face.
what I didn't take into consideration
girlfriend
was
loves it.
Devin's resolve.
Yeah.
That he would just be like, I'm just going to do it just to see you lose.
Yeah.
You know,
He dominated it. It looks good.
that's exactly what
Anna
happened.
loves it. Like all around, this is a winning competition for you.
It grew in better than I expected.
Yeah.
We haven't really posted any updated pictures. We just kind of waited until the end to post
Well,
side by sides. But
He looks like a man.
Although I
I
have
look like Abe
basically
Lincoln, brother.
told you 15 times we need to post
I know.
like before and after, and you just keep sending them to me.
You do. No, you just keep sending the pictures to us.
Yeah, but you
without
don't post them.
And like
No, bro.
here,
I'm not gonna post them.
I looked the other day and there were like 5 beard shots in all
Yeah.
different angles, and I was like, all right, it looks
So
good.
yeah, we probably should do that.
So
Well,
what
I'm just gonna
happened?
post a single post and
So
and
for
line them all up.
people who haven't been keeping up with it, what happens if you lose, Adam?
I have a very prodigious beard. I've been growing a beard for a long time. You'll know
Prodigious.
I
it
can't
is
wait to see
prodigious.
your chin. I've never seen your chin.
Exactly. A lot of people haven't. I've always
He's
had a
got a
goatee.
weak chin.
Glenn has a weak chin. That's why I love his beard.
Glenn, I wouldn't call Glenn's chin
Are you
weak.
kidding me?
It's not weak. It is.
He has no chin.
and
at all.
He has kind of a butt chin, right? He's got like.
No, his chin is nice and smooth, but he has no chin. But when I met him, he was no chin McCready. He didn't grow a beard till later.
That's
but,
what we called him.
but he
no
has,
chin
but
McCready.
he has that huge beard now. So maybe it's a little more.
He's got a hell of a beard.
Yeah. So
Mine is
I
trim
can't wait
and
to see
long
your
on the
chin.
My beard is trim on the sides and long on the chin, so it kind of looks like.
Let me put your finger on your chin,
I'm
like where
touching my
underneath
chin.
your. Okay. Oh. This is gonna be. Sorry. This is gonna be fun. I'm
You
excited.
can hear it in Jamie's voice.
What? Are you afraid I
oh,
don't have? I have
oh.
a chin. I just don't have much of one, but I have a chin.
Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah. Anyway,
Because I'm not dating
Adam,
you. So.
tell us how long you've had facial hair.
so I've been growing.
Continuously.
I've been growing a goatee since I was in high school, and then I would shave it during high school or during like the year, and I would have it during the summer. I got out and I had a consistent goatee all the way through college. Shaved it off a couple times, but most of the time I had at least a goatee because that was like the hot thing, in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Right.
I continued to have that goatee, and then I started to put length in it. So the chin hair got really long because that was also kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then I finally trimmed all that off, and I grew in the sides, and I just had a normal beard.
But that's been over the last 3 years.
3
that
or
you've
4
grown on the
years.
side. Because when I first met you, all you had was
the goatee.
this. You didn't have a beard at all when I first met you.
So it's actually been about 5 years then, 4 or 5 years.
Well, no, because I didn't meet you until after I had Porter. And Porter's 3.
Oh.
Almost, he'll be 4 in May.
I feel like, really?
Glenn started working with you in like January of when I was pregnant with Porter, but I didn't meet you until after I had him.
Oh,
When we
that's
did the
weird.
escape room.
Okay.
And all you had was this. And then eventually you grew that in.
All
so
right,
you've
that's
had
weird.
facial hair pretty much since high school.
On and off. Yeah, I have. So I can only remember maybe twice since high school. Or let's just say since I graduated high school that I have been completely clean shaven. My college ID
Wow.
twice. My college ID, I have a goatee. Like I have a goatee, and my college ID, I got photographed for my college ID, like in my senior year of high school.
But since you keep the sides short, I don't think that you are somebody who will shave and be unrecognizable. Like
No.
when Glenn shaves, he has people who don't recognize who he is until
Yeah.
he opens his mouth.
Glenn actually had
because it's a super
crazy.
full beard, but you keep your sides so you can still see the shape of your face.
Yeah. So Glenn
Except for
came
your
into
weak
work one
chin.
day after he shaved, and he went over to
Yep.
someone's desk, and he was like, "Hey, I need to send you a phone call, or I need you to do something." And the guy was like, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
Like
Glenn
he didn't.
told me that.
Dude, all right, so you've told me this story before.
Oh, we
and
did.
I was like, what like Glenn's got to be the only guy that's Australian in the office, right?
So
But I think
we've had this conversation. What we're forgetting is to add into the equation that the guy that he went up to, probably not the
dumbass?
sharpest, probably not the sharpest tool in the shed.
I don't know. I guess, I mean, I don't know how much he talks to this guy, but I forget all the time that Glenn's Australian because I hear it so much and you're just used to it. Now, I'm not saying this guy's used to it, but if you work with him every day and talk to him every day for 3 or 4 years, sometimes you can just unhear it.
His accent has softened considerably.
When he you know what? So at work, when I come in and visit him at work, I can tell it's softened a bit. When he gets home, he can.
Yeah, he lets cunts fly.
Well, and he has a fucking couple beers in him. He's like speaking a different language.
Wait till when we go to Australia, holy fuck! Like he is just super aka. Just he is in it. He is It's woo. There's a lot of cunts flying around.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so your punishment. Go ahead, Adam.
No, I have to shave my beard. I have to shave my beard completely. I'm gonna ask that instead of putting a razor on my face, that I can just trim it to stubble, which my beard trimmer will trim to stubble. Like there's nothing there. It's just like, but it'll get me at least a few day head start. So I'm not.
And I get to videotape it.
So I can put my shit back on.
Jamie gets to videotape it.
I'm
We're doing it tonight.
Yeah. We're going to post it on socials. If you are not following Open Box Policy on Facebook, Twitter, even though we never post on Twitter or Instagram, we will be posting pictures to our socials on Facebook and Instagram. Please follow us, OBP_raw. That is you're going to hear it in the intro. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you again, but we would love to hear from you.
That is, as the children say, handles.
Yeah, that is
our social media handle.
Yeah. So you all already know a little bit about how I went on vacation. That's one of the reasons why we didn't post last week. You all know a little bit about what happened and how my vacation started. I'm going to quickly tell it. I'm going to retell the story.
I never heard how it ended, so I'm excited to hear that.
I just heard today how it ended.
It ended better than it started.
It did.
So for our listeners, I went on a quote unquote guys trip to Colorado.
Very important part of the story.
That you understand that this was a guys trip.
Bunch of dudes hanging out for a week.
It was going to be 3 guys, and I hear that somewhere near the weekend, which would be 4 or 5 days into my trip, or 3 or 4 days into my trip, there might be some other friends that are going to come out. No worries. You know, well, I knew that it was going to be a guy and potentially his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, but I knew that. So, we arrived to Denver on a Wednesday. We get there on a Wednesday, and we get in the car, and we start heading towards Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
Getting ready for the Bro Fest.
And
2 dudes chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not
gay.
And I want you to know there was plenty of hot tubbing on this trip, and I was much closer than 5 feet.
Because you were comfortable.
There were numerous times when I accidentally touched people's feet and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," you know.
Okay.
You're like, "Want to make out?" Anyway,
yeah.
Continue.
We get in the car and we start heading towards Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and the guy that was heading up this trip, my buddy, says, "Oh yeah, my other friend and his girlfriend they just arrived at the airport in Hayden, Colorado. It's right outside Steamboat Springs. They're going to meet us there." And it took a minute to sink in, and I turned around to him and I was like, "Wait, they're already here?" And he said, "Yeah, they're already here." And I was like, "Well, they're not supposed to be here till like the weekend." You know, I thought they were just going to like kind of, because we had a free condo we were staying in, and obviously there's limited space. I knew there was probably at least 4 bedrooms. It was a big condo. So, you know, I'm already like, okay, well, so much for that. I mean, I kind of know this other guy. I don't know his girlfriend, but you know what? I can get along with anybody. Whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're kind of starting off where you're like, well, so something has already changed. And I am like a child in the fact that once I have an expectation set or once I have my hopes up, I just assume everything's going to be that way. And then if it gets crushed, I get all pissy about it.
Especially crushed when
that
you're
just
there
happened to
and
me
in
tonight.
it, and you're like,
Yes, when I've already spent money on a flight, and I'm like
you're
already
excited,
here.
and it's not even like you got a warning like a couple days before. You like are
Yeah.
like, yeah, here we go, guys trip, and then you're in it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What would you say, Devin?
I said that happened to me tonight. Like I think I have the same mentality. Like I set certain expectations. It can be known to others, but it can just be personal expectations. And when they aren't fulfilled, I'm like just pissy about it.
Oh, is it because
man,
we were late? We were late recording. Is that why? Is that?
No. That wasn't.
Oh, he's
it
not
was
taking
something.
a shot at you. Yeesh.
No, I'm not always taking a shot at you, Adam. But yeah, that happened with me and Anna tonight in the kitchen. Some of our plans that we had for tomorrow kind of changed, and I had set some personal expectations for the day.
Now, did she know about these expectations, or was it just kind of okay?
No, that's why I said personal, and it just kind of pissed me off when things changed. But so I feel the same way, Adam. Like I set those expectations for myself.
So
I stopped doing that when I had kids because I realized that 99% of the
Everything was
expectations that
gonna
I
be
set
shattered.
every day never happens. I expect
Yeah.
to go to Target and do this and do all this stuff and then all this stuff, and none of it happens the way you plan, and it's just like.
Did you like that meme that I sent to you in the group
Yes. Yes, I said that's me every goddamn day. Every
we
day.
can post that. We can post that to our socials too.
But yeah, once you have kids, just nothing goes as planned anymore. So I stopped setting expectations. As long as I get out of bed and I can get them in bed at 7:00 every night, that is a goal for me. And they're still alive.
I
So.
like living my life like that, to be honest, with kind of some expectation, not really an expectation though, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anna is completely opposite. She has to have some sort of loose plan for throughout the day, so she doesn't freak out.
But she has to have a loose plan. That's better than somebody who has to have a very strict plan. Things have to go this way.
I mean,
And
that's true.
if they don't, I'll lose my shit. Like, I know people like that. It's like, I have to get this stuff done. If I don't, I'm stressed out, anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And I used to kind of be like that. And like I said, then I had kids and like...
And that just blew everything up.
Well, and even my work. Like, I have deadlines on Wednesdays and Fridays, but then my days before that, I just have to like work when I can. Oh, I expect to work 3 hours. Oh, look, Porter fucking puked on the floor. I guess that I'm not going to work for the next 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Is it bad that I just see your kid just standing there looking at you and then going, "Blah," and just vomiting on the floor?
That's exactly what he does. Neither of my kids vomited until they were older, so they don't know what to do. Especially Elle. Elle is almost 8, and she will still... She didn't vomit till she was 6, so still she'll be like, I don't feel good, and then she'll just vomit wherever she's standing. Like, she has no...
What the fuck? She doesn't run anywhere?
No, she doesn't, and she doesn't know how to do that. She's just like... I mean, she threw up a couple months ago, and she came down, she's like, I threw up on myself. And I was like, why? And she was like, I didn't know what to do. And she just puked everywhere, rather than like a child who goes like, oh, I should probably go somewhere besides like my body. So... Yeah.
So, kids are weird, man.
Kids are fucking, weird. Super
Anyway,
weird.
what were we talking about?
I was trying to tell you a story, and y'all got off on a tangent because our
I'm
fucking
sorry.
our technology
Sorry, we got to
keeps
talking about
fucking
our
up.
kids. Anyway.
Yeah. So.
Yes. Oh yeah, your story. God damn it, you're right. Okay.
So where were we?
You got
Guys
there.
trip.
You were heading there, and you found out that somebody was coming.
We found out the other 2 people were already there. So we got to, which I didn't know. So we got to the condo, and they said, all these other 2 people are going to walk out, or they're going to come out and meet us.
The guy and his girlfriend.
The guy and his girlfriend. So we get there. It's the guy, his girlfriend, another girl, and the other girl is holding on to a 22-month-old little boy, and they're both walking towards us. So we have some like random small talk, and they say, "Oh, this is my friend. She lives in Colorado. She just kind of came up." And
That'd be like, so you're leaving, right?
so I said, "Wait." Like after about 5 minutes of this like random uncomfortable small talk, I said, "Wait, are you staying with us?" Like, I just asked her point blank because I'm like, I'm on fucking vacation. I don't want to be here with a child. Are you staying with us? And she was like, yeah.
What the fuck,
And I'll
dude?
say this: I I have kids, and I would be pissed. So it's not just Adam being like, no. I don't have kids. I don't want kids around me. Like, I would be mad too. Like, if I was getting away for a while and somebody brought their and like
on a guy's trip,
and that's a little kid too. That is not a self-sufficient.
22 months. I mean, it was a toddler.
Yeah,
just a toddler. So
technically younger than a toddler. Yeah, no way.
So I thought for a second, like, oh, I'm in like the fucking Twilight Zone. Maybe she'll stay for like a night. Maybe she'll go away.
Maybe she's kidding.
She walks away, and they all walk away, and we ask our buddy, we're like, hey man, you need to like talk to your friend and just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you think that just because we have like a free place to stay, that your girlfriend can invite her friend from college and they can just like come stay with us? With her baby.
Why would she want to bring her baby?
She brought a baby. So that's day one. That's Wednesday.
So wait, did your friend not know about this?
I don't think he did. I think because originally they said that on the weekend, around Saturday or Sunday, this is on a Wednesday, they said that they had a friend that lived in Colorado that they might bring out or like tell her to come up and stay a night with us. We'll all party. We'll have a great time. No big deal. So no big deal. She took that as, okay, I'll bring my baby and I'll show up on Wednesday.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't know. I don't know your friend. I don't know the type of people that he likes to hang out with. But I don't believe that it'd just be like, yeah, like you just come on up on the weekend. And I don't think that they wouldn't be like, well, can we come up Wednesday? And he wouldn't be like, yeah, just come up Wednesday. It's like, well, can we bring our friend with a kid? Yeah, that's cool too.
I don't know, man. He was pretty pissed off about it. He was pissed off enough about it for me to believe that like he didn't know.
If you're that pissed off about it and they're your friend, I would be having a conversation with them and be like, look, you guys can stay up here for a couple nights, but you're going to have to turn around and go back home. Like, there's certain expectations for these other people that I've invited, and you've just invited someone on your own behalf without even fucking telling me. That's fucked up. Get off my mountain.
Yes, exactly. So we kind of had those conversations, and I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus. The trip was good. We worked around it, and it's not like we were having to nurse like
pass it off to you,
breastfeed like a baby every day. I mean, it was, but I mean, there were numerous times when I was obviously inebriated, and there was this little like pitter patter of toddler running around in front of me, and I am like trying to hand me balls to throw and stuff, and I was like, I'm not.
What is it, a dog? That's what my dog does.
It kept like jumping off the couch and moving pillows around and stuff, and I was like, I can't handle this.
I just can't believe that she would want to do that. I mean, like, it's not convenient to have a child that small and like pick up and go somewhere for a weekend without like bringing 20 billion things for your kid, and then they never sleep good and they never eat good. Like, that would be more stressful to do that. Like, I don't understand that.
I can't believe that the dude's friend thought it was okay to invite his girlfriend's friend with a fucking 2-year-old.
I guess we don't know the relationship. Maybe he felt like super pressured, or maybe she gave him a bunch of good old BJs.
So we talked about that, and we're like,
bring 'em.
Maybe she was like, oh, my friend's going to come. And then last minute, she's like, wait, is it okay if she brings her child with her? And he's probably like, I
can't.
I don't want to piss her off. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. Look, it ended up being a good trip. We had a good time. It was, overall it was good. Steamboat Springs is beautiful. Everything up there is amazing. But yeah, that was a bit of a weird thing with everything. Anyway, so I go to an eye doctor, and I sign in, and something happens to me all the time. It's been happening to me for years. So if I go into like a quiet doctor's office, and they're like, hi, how can I help you? And I'm like, hello, my name's Adam Sandler. People are like, oh, he must be on the radio. Like, people just say that.
You're the movie guy. Hello,
hi,
my name is Adam Sanders.
Like, press 1 for more information.
You do that whole thing. You do that?
No.
No, not that. Not that. Like, when people say hi, you do a whole like, hi, I'm at.
No, but it just sounds that way to normal people. I'll just be like, hi, yes, I'm just here for an appointment. But people just turn around because they're like, this guy's he's got such like a deep voice. Like So I went in and the woman was talking to me and I made a few jokes and we were laughing and she said, you can sit right over here. And I was like, okay, like I'll sit over here just like that, but it just stands out. It's happened to me my whole life. I don't try to sell it. I'm not trying to blow it out of proportion. Everywhere I fucking go. In Colorado, I opened a door for an old lady, and she was like, thank you, sir. And I was like, you're welcome, ma'am. And she said, are you on the radio? And I was like,
I don't believe that story.
I swear to God.
That was like me in my early 20s when I just had my boobs out all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
are those
hello.
real?
Are you on the radio?
Ooh.
Yeah.
They ask you if you're on the radio by the look of your boobs.
I swear
they see
to God.
my face and they're like, you're on the radio.
I swear to God. I opened the door for an old lady and she said, thank you very much. And I said, you're welcome. And she curtsied. She walked inside.
Wait, no.
She curtsied.
No, let's back up. Let's
I swear to God.
back up.
Oh my God.
Now I know
was she wearing
the
a pilgrim
story's made
outfit
up.
too? And
It's
the
not
green
made up.
gables.
Now I fucking know
I
it's
am
made
telling
up
you all
because she curtsied.
She curtsied. She did like the little oh, thank you, sir. Like she did like this.
No, I don't believe it.
She did.
I don't
She was like a cool traditional old lady. She was like, oh, thank you. Like
she
that.
did a little bloop bloop.
Yeah.
Did she have a cane and a monocle?
She put one leg behind the other and she like did this
She
little
was
thing.
like Little Women.
No. It was
I
just a
don't
sweet
fucking
thing. Like
believe
an
it.
old lady was like, you're opening the door for me? Like, well, thank you, good sir. And I was like, you're welcome, ma'am. And she walked inside. I swear to God, this is a real fucking story. It just happened randomly. She was like, are you on the radio? And I said, I have like a podcast. And she was like, well, good for you. It happens to me constantly.
Well, good for you, sir. Here, take a silver dollar.
Anyway, yeah, thank you. Here, take this 2-bit piece.
Yeah.
Go buy yourself a drink. So I sit down and I start filling out some paperwork. To my left, there is an older woman with what looks like her granddaughter, probably. I don't think it was her daughter. It's probably her granddaughter. Granddaughter had like glasses on, this Kool-Aid dyed purple hair, like jet black clothes, like that kind of kid. Was wearing like random little pieces of jewelry. She was probably like 12, maybe 13 years old. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there filling all this stuff out, and this woman is sitting about 6 feet from me, maybe 5. And all of a sudden she says, excuse me, are you married?
To you?
And I kept doing it, and she goes, excuse me, sir? And I looked up and I go, ma'am? And she said, are you married? And I was like,
Why are you asking me for your 12-year-old?
So I'm just going to play along. I was like, no, actually, I'm not. I'm not married. And she said, well, you are very well dressed for someone that doesn't have a wife at home.
What the fuck does that mean?
Thanks, Granny. Did she fucking curtsy too?
I just started laughing. Cute, Devin. I know you don't fucking believe the story. It's a real story. But I was
it's
like,
so ridiculous that it has to be
real. It has to fucking be real.
Or else
yes,
he'd be
I
like, oh, this
that.
lady just said this little thing and then walked in. Like the fact that she curtsied.
She curtsied. Yeah.
I'm giving you the benefit.
So the lady was like, yes, I looked like a scrub. And she was like, you just look so nice. I didn't look like a scrub, but she was like, you look nice. And I would just assume.
What were you wearing?
I was wearing a checkered red and blue shirt, gray pants,
I know the one.
tennis shoes, and a blue undershirt. And
Matching.
she was like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't look bad, but I just kind of looked like
didn't look
a guy
like
that,
snazzy like she was explaining it.
Yeah, she was like, are you married? And I just assumed that like you must have a wife at home because you are.
She dressed you.
Like you're too put together to look that good, basically. Yeah. And I was like, no, ma'am, I'm not married, but I appreciate it. I said, thank you very much. I guess I'll take that as a compliment. And she was, you need to. It looks like you really care about yourself and like you care about what you're doing. And I was like, okay, you're well. So here's what's fucked. That part's not fucked.
Well, real quick, before you get to the fucked, yeah, it's a compliment, but at the same time, she's basically saying like, well, her first assumption.
She did not think that I was capable.
Yeah, that would be the first assumption. Like, I must have a lady at home dressing.
Yeah. Well, you should have went full social justice warrior on her. What, you don't think men can dress themselves?
Yeah. So I took it as, like, she's an old lady. She's out of touch. She thinks that she's being cute and nice and sweet in front of her granddaughter and maybe teaching her something about social norms. And I'm like, I don't have the space in my life to ever, like, tear someone up or, like, put them in their place.
Well, yeah.
I'm just like, okay, sure. You know, if someone's like, hey, you're fat, I'm like, thank you. Like, I just don't even, like, I'm not at a point in my life.
Anorexic.
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
Okay, so
the story's not fucking over. She said, I said, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And she said, I said it just like that or something. And she was like, okay, you're welcome. She turned around and she started murmuring to her, what I'm going to assume was her granddaughter. And then she started talking about my voice. And she was like, hey, do you know that other person, he has such a husky voice too, just like that man. Like talking about me. And she was like, he has the huskiest voice. And
did she think you were some type of fucking radio star?
I have no fucking idea. I have no idea.
She wasn't talking to you. She was talking
to her granddaughter, but about me right in fucking front of me. It was crazy. It was crazy. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah, she thought that I was dressed well enough where I must have a woman at home. And so she basically used it. She was like, you see what I did? It was crazy. Like, you see what I did there? I'm talking to him and I'm being open with him and I'm asking him questions and he's responding to me. And it was like she was
legitimately training her granddaughter or whatever, daughter, to, like, about social norms.
It was very, if I didn't know any better, I would say yes.
Wow.
It was very fucking weird. Like, so then what's funny is that she started talking to her granddaughter about some worldly issue. And her granddaughter said, well, actually, there are scientists that said X, Y, Z. And her grandmother was like, no. There are no scientists that would ever say that. And her granddaughter, who probably knows more about, she's probably forgotten more about science than her grandmother, was like, no, actually, there have been plenty of scientists that have said that, you know, I'm just going to make something up. Global warming is real. And her grandmother was just like, no.
But that's not made up.
No. Fuck.
I had to.
Adam's soul left his body.
I know.
Global warming is made up.
He just put his face on the microphone and just gave me like a fuck look.
Global warming is just the Democrats trying to get you to vote.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. That's it. Here we are.
You heard it here first. Open box policy.
Yeah. Press 1 for more information. It was fucking crazy. The old lady curtsied, and the other old lady basically said that I'm not capable of dressing myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So she verbally insulted you in a nice way, and then told her daughter, "See, this is how you fucking treat people."
So to say all that, basically, I want to know, very quickly, obviously, have you ever? Every one of us has gotten into a scenario where we start to talk. And we realize, like we should just be like, shut up, Jamie. Like, shut up, Adam. Like, just stop talking. You just start saying shit, and you can't stop. So, like, do you all have any instances where you're like, you just didn't know when to shut the fuck up?
I mean, I have a problem not having that trigger, unfortunately. Like, I will sometimes just talk, and then keep going. And then
it never occurs to you?
It occurs to me later after I've said everything.
After you said everything.
Yeah. Like I have
Glenn
complains about this thing I do where like I'll talk to him and if he doesn't acknowledge what I'm saying, I'll just keep talking. And I could talk for 30 minutes and if he doesn't say, yeah, okay, I will just keep talking about the same thing over and over and over and over and over again until he's like, shut the fuck up, I hear you. I'm like, all you had to do is say you heard me 30 minutes ago. I'm just going to keep talking because you're not acknowledging me. I have a really hard time shutting up. Now, on the other end, what you're saying is I have had a lot of people not censor themselves, especially with my job. I deal with a lot of older men who I am technically in charge of whether they advertise with me or not, or their shit gets into my publication. And I'm talking 7-year-olds who will write emails like, hey, sweetheart, can you put me on the cover this week? You're the best, sweetheart. And then just talk down to me and tell me what to do. And that is a situation where it's like
7-year-olds?
70.
Oh, 70-year-old. Okay.
Yeah, where they just don't know when to maybe stop talking, and it could be it's obviously a generational thing for sure, but they just don't know when to. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not the only person younger than you that you are dealing with on a daily basis. Like, there's, and I have corrected them, and it never stops. They just don't give a fuck. But yeah.
So mine,
and that's some of that is what do you say? Not cultural. It's generational.
Well, and that could be with the lady in the eyeglass store.
Well, and I'm not saying that it isn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that she's just like some quirky old lady. I mean, she probably is a quirky old lady, but a lot of that's generational. I mean, my parents grew up in the South, and they still have these very prototypical Southernisms and Southern things that they will do. And there are times when it's dated to me because it's 2019 for me, and I'm 40 years old. I'm not 73.
It's 2020.
What? All right.
All right. This concludes this episode.
What?
Yeah. This is Adam.
This is Jamie.
Yeah.
No, shut up.
Yeah, tell us yours, Devin.
I have to tell my story. So it's not necessarily what you're asking for, but it's kind of in the same boat. So we had this meeting at my work, and it was like this big party thing. It was like a party meeting. And we have a maintenance guy. He does all of our maintenance, and he just happens to be Hispanic. All right. So from what I've heard and from what I've seen, this guy's good at everything, like our maintenance guy. He fucking does everything, knows how to fix everything. He's helped me personally at my work fix like 2 or 3 things at my desk. He's very handy, okay? So we got to talking about like somebody's wife being pregnant or something like that. Oh, it was a baby shower. That's what it was. And we got to talking about like this girl having her baby. And I was like, well, I bet if she had her baby right now, he would be able to deliver it. And people stopped and turned and looked at me. And in my head, I'm like, this is completely justified. He's a handy guy. He knows how to do a lot of shit. So he could probably deliver a baby. I didn't think that he was Hispanic. And typically the stereotype around Hispanics is they have a lot of children. And that's what literally every person around me turned and thought.
Really?
Yeah.
And
you just didn't know when to shut up.
As soon as it fucking left my mouth, I was like, ugh.
Yeah. I told y'all the story about I was in this meeting with every manager and then 2 people that are 2 notches above management at my company. And one of the guys above me, like I'm a manager and I manage 9 people, and then I've got a guy above me that manages like 80 people, and then I have someone above him that manages even more people. They're all sitting there, and the guy right above me is saying he's finishing the meeting, and what can I do for you? What can I possibly like remove from your plate today? Is there anything that I could do to make your jobs easier? Yada yada yada. And he ended it with what can I like? What do you need? What do you need right now that will make your job easier? And I could not help myself. I blurted out sausage. I just said sausage. I just said sausage, and he was like, "Excuse me," and I was like, "Oh shit," like that. And everybody in this meeting was like. So the guy above him goes, "Excuse me, did you just say sausage?" And I was like, yes.
You just got to own up to it. I did.
I said sausage. And he was like, What's wrong with you?
I don't know. That's what I should have said. I don't know what's wrong.
So I continued to own it, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm hungry. And he said, he goes, well, why did you think about sausage? And I said, he said, yeah, he was like, what do you want? And it just came into my head, and I have an impulsivity problem, and I couldn't help myself. And I was like, it was either that or lasagna. It was, yeah.
Throwing some pepperoni, too.
Yeah. It was crazy. But yeah, I mean, like the times, I mean, so Jamie has no filter. She just keeps going.
It's bad.
Devin is prejudice.
I have good intentions in my heart, but they just come out as prejudiced.
Yeah, and I have a legitimate impulsivity problem, you know.
Wow, what a little
if this
trio
is your first
we are,
episode, if this is your first episode of OBP, welcome.
Yeah.
These are our problems.
So now we're going to end the episode. We're going to go downstairs and shave my beard.
Oh, my God. I can't wait.
The girl that I'm dating, I just texted her and told her what was about to happen, and there is...
What'd she say? Is she going to text me? I bet she'll text me.
No.
Oh, no. I don't want to be... I want to be a part of this so bad, but I don't want to be responsible.
Oh, yes. She doesn't like it. Yes.
No, she hates it.
And I'm going to be seeing her tomorrow night, so I hope she doesn't hate me.
Yeah. So we're going to go downstairs. We're going to film that, and then we're going to post it on socials. And I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. I'm actually excited.
I finally won a challenge.
Yeah.
I grew a beard.
I'm so happy. And look, you look fantastic. Your girlfriend loves it. All good for you.
Adam shakes his head.
Fuck. Sorry, man.
She just texted me again and said, don't shave it. No.
You have to respond back and say, I have to.
Yeah,
hey, respond back and say, do it for the podcast, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to end up looking back on this and just being like, I can't fucking believe it.
It will grow back. Yeah. It's temporary.
It's temporary, bro. Just like this podcast.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Anyway, this is Devin.
This is Adam.
This is Jamie.